Hi, I'm Deborah Dahab, your expat coach and intercultural psychologist, and today I'm going to talk about 3 tips for you to prepare your move abroad in the best way possible. Now, these tips are valid if you are going to any country from any country. It's not about the practical issues, it's about the emotional aspects and how they can help or hinder if you don't know how to manage them correctly. So I hope this video is helpful and let's dive into it. The first tip relates to saying goodbyes. Now, there is a concept that their new phase in our lives starts at the end, actually. And saying your goodbyes to people and family and loved ones is pretty obvious, right? Even though sometimes we don't like to do it. But one concept I would like to suggest for you is to also say goodbye to places and objects. So we all have these places that we like to go to, these favorite restaurants, these places that we have memories from because it was the place where we had happy hours with our friends, or where we met up for coffee with a girlfriend, or where we took our kids to the park, you name it. We have these places. So go to these places before you leave and say your goodbyes. You don't have to say it out loud. You can say that internally. You can take a picture of the place. You can have a last go, like a last coffee or something like that. But that's really important because it's important to create closure and to really savor these last moments before you start your new phase. The second tip I would give you is related to making new friends. So when we move abroad, this is one of the times where we're going to have to create our social network from scratch. This is something we're not used to doing many times. So be patient with yourself, manage expectations, connect with people online before you even move. And my suggestion is to have at least 3 to 5 lunch dates or coffee dates, or just meetups with people in your new destination for the first 2 weeks after you get there. It's going to be good to have these key people that you can ask questions to, and you will have something to look forward to, connecting with people, because it can be a very turmoil and roller coaster of emotion time. It's good to have these dates and these lunches or coffees to look forward to. The last tip I would like to share is regarding language learning. So when we go to a new country that we don't speak the language, this can many times be a source of anxiety. We won't be able to communicate effectively, and for many people that can be very, very frustrating. During the first times when we still feel like a tourist, that might not bother us that much, but once our lives start to settle in and settle down and we start to create a routine, this is one of the major causes of cultural shock. So we feel really frustrated that we cannot communicate. So I suggest, if this is the case for you, that you're going to a place where you do not speak the language, to start learning the language before you go. Know, the typical phrases like please, thank you, how do I go there, etc. This is pretty obvious, right? So what is not obvious is that in order to learn properly and with being productive in this learning process, focus on 2 things. What do you want the language for? So do you want to be able to communicate with locals on, grocery stores or something like that? Or are you going to work in that language? Do you really need to be more proficient? So be very specific on what you want the language for. And the second aspect is know your learning style. Are you more visual person? Do you, if you are a more visual person, maybe videos and movies and reading will be very important. If you're more auditory, podcasts, audiobooks, music, songs. If you're more kinesthetic, have flashcards and notebooks and pens that you can touch while you're studying. So many people focus on the grammar, on the vocabulary, and actually that's just a small part of communication. Most of it is body language, and it's important to know which methodology is best for you so you increase your chances of making great progress when learning a language. These are the main 3 tips that among many, it was hard to choose 3, but I wanted to be very concise in this video so you could get really a head start of, some important tips that might not be so obvious. And if you want to know more, I have an ebook called Move Overseas with Ease, which is completely free. And I dive into real life examples from my own life and from clients. And it gives you, in the book, you will find tips and ideas that you can use when preparing your move abroad. And also, if you have moved and you're feeling a little bit hard to adjust, or you might want to get some ideas on how to deal with these changes. The link to the ebook will be in the description box below. So please click on the link, get your free ebook, and I will love to get your feedback, your questions, and I will always be here to answer any questions you might have about living abroad, moving abroad, and how to deal with this transition in our lives. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.